Hello again. Let's get right to the point here. So how do you find your purpose as a man? This video is specifically for men, young men like me, like everyone else in the world who want to find their purpose, their true purpose. So purpose works differently. You have a main purpose in the very center of your body. There's a main purpose that you have, which you don't know yet, that is covered by smaller layers of purposes. So that could be losing weight, that could be a peel of layer, losing weight, and then it's getting a six pack, then it's getting good legs, whatever. Then it's okay, let me focus on my meditation. I want to try meditating 3 hours a day. I want to train my mind to do that. I want to have the best nutrition. So these are like layers of purposes, and you have to peel them back each time. Let's say you have a layer of purpose, which is you want to lose 10 kilos in, let's say, 4 months, 5 months. So that's a layer of purpose. As you're getting to your goal, you peel off that layer. Once you peel it off, then you're like, okay, I've done that. What do I need to do? Then there's a new layer of purpose that you will discover. So this video is gonna be explaining how you do that, basically. Let's make this video for the people that want to discover their very first purpose, very first layer of purpose. So for that, you have to spend time alone. You have to be distant from people, useless people, especially. You have to spend time alone. Don't distract yourself. I already made these videos on distractions in my previous videos. You have to not distract yourself. You have to focus, be present. You have to spend time alone for a while. And I'm not saying like completely isolate yourself, but keep time for yourself. Like spend time just for yourself so that you can think about your life, think about what your values are, and more things. You have to also be open for new opportunities. You have to be open-minded for those things. Let's say you're in a job you're working at right now, or you're studying at university, and there's an opportunity at your workplace for a higher position. It's like a slightly different thing, but you get paid more there. It's a completely new type of work that you haven't been exposed to before, and they're running an internal recruitment on their end, and you are eligible to apply for that. So if I was you, I would apply for it. It's the uncertainty, like the risk there. Let's say even if you don't get that job, at least you still have that position that you were in. At least you still have that thing. So you have nothing to lose. You can still try for it. You can go ahead and apply for it. If you succeed, you get a higher position, you get a bigger paycheck. You are happier, like, okay, I'm gonna do something new for myself. I'm gonna do something new at work. I'm learning new skills, learning with new teams, new not corporations, new department. Like you're gonna be handling other types of things with other departments. You get the point. It just depends on where you are specifically working at. For university, let's say there's like this new club that's opened, where they want to do some sort of charity things, and they're asking for somebody to step up and to take leadership. You might think, okay, that's kind of terrifying to think of taking leadership, but hey, at least you have the opportunity right there, so you can take it. You can take that opportunity if you want to. Nothing's stopping you. You're not the only thing. There's nothing you can lose. You're just going to gain new skills. You're gonna gain more confidence in yourself, and you'll be more comfortable by guiding different people under your leadership to different things. You'll be comfortable with that slowly. So you have to take opportunities at hand, and you have to be open to them. Thirdly, you have to focus on self-improvement. So like I said, that's journaling. Journaling, you can wake up every day, write the things that you're grateful about. Like every little thing, you can say, I'm grateful for this place that I'm living in. I'm grateful that I'm not freezing out in the cold. I'm grateful for the water I have, for the food that I have in my fridge, for my groceries. I'm happy for that. There's people homeless out there. that don't have these things, every little thing that we take for granted, just be grateful for those things and write them down on a piece of paper on in your little journaling book. You can write them down there and you'll feel happy about it. Like, you'll actually start feeling grateful of those things that you have, which others don't. Many people in the world don't have those things that you have, and they would gladly swap with you and take your problems away. They would gladly take your spot. Think of the people in the Middle Eastern countries that are having war, and the African countries where there's hunger and everything. Those people would gladly swap with you. The problems you think you have, those are not problems to them. Problems that they have, those are real problems. We don't have any problems here in this first world, basically. So you have to journal, meditate, practice presence. There's nothing to distract you, so you can start really listening to your true self. You're listening to what's inside of you. And slowly, once you start implementing these things, this will take it. And yes, I'm also gonna add a note to this. You're not gonna know your purpose in one day. This is not how it works. This is a slow process. This is a journey you have to embark upon yourself. This is a slow process that you have to indulge in for you to discover your purpose, your first layer, and then the second layer, and then the third layer. And you have to complete each layer of purpose for you to discover the next one. And that's how that works, basically. You have to take risks. This goes back to that point where I said, be open to opportunities. Take risks here. If you have nothing to lose, go for it. Apply for that job. Go for that leadership thing. Anything. Go out in the woods at night by yourself without any technology on you. Take risks. Expose yourself to those things. That's gonna toughen you up as a man mentally. Go to the gym. Stay in shape, eat properly, eat nutrition, don't eat too much sweets. Don't eat fast food, don't eat junk food. Have healthy nutrition. Clear body, clear mind. So you have to also prioritize that. Take risks, man. You're gonna need it. You're not going to be if you want to be a tough man, a good man, a tough man that is able to handle problems in his life, you have to go through adversity, and you have to go through suffering and pain. You have to, as a man. You cannot stay comfortable where you are. You must not. You cannot stay comfortable. If you were suddenly homeless, you wouldn't just lie down on the sidewalk, would you? Just be like, I don't want to work. I'm too tired. You're not gonna be tired then, for sure. If you want to have a house on the top of your head, if you want a roof, you're not gonna just lie down there. You're gonna find something. You're gonna try to earn money in any sort of way. So you have to not be comfortable. You cannot stay comfortable where you are. Even though it's nice and relaxing, don't do that. That's just killing your own masculine core. That's weakening it. You cannot stay comfortable. You have to stay at your edge, basically. Learn and you're gonna find all these things when you start going through self-improvement. And like I said, this is not going to just take one day or two or something. It's gonna take a bit of a while for you. So be prepared for that. You will have times of uncertainty. However, you just have to go through them. You just have faith. Just do the right things. Do the right things that you feel are good, the best for you. Do them. You will slowly get there. So I'll give you a story here of what my past was, basically. Just around 1 year ago, or 1 year ago or more, just around that. My life used to be terrible. I used to live in an apartment of 6 people. We all had rooms to ourselves, each room to ourselves, and we just minded our own business. However, that place was terrible. Nobody cleaned up. I was the only one that was cleaning the apartment up. The others were like kind of taking the piss out of it. Nobody was serious. And of course, when you're living in a shitty environment, when your surroundings aren't clean, you're not clean mentally. And I used to have bad habits as well. I would eat so much junk food every weekend. I would not even cook proper food. I would just order pizza, maybe have the garlic sauce. Before that, I would go to the local convenience store here and get some chocolate, get chips, get yogurt, Sugar, processed food, and I would call that a day in my life. Literally. That's how I used to live. The one day that changed it all for me was when I decided that when I decided to go out into the woods by myself, and this was my first time alone, at least, going out into some place like that, going out hiking. It was the first time I ever did. And I gained so much clarity from that one hiking session I had. This was last year around the mid of June, or towards the end of June. This was. I just took my phone, I switched off my internet, because at least I had to know how do I get home and everything, at least, because I never went to that area before. So I took my phone, I switched off the internet once I got there, and I just hiked for like 2 hours or something. And I sat down in the middle of the trail. There was a bench there. I sat down there and I just started meditating for like 20 minutes. And I still remember that to this day. Once I finished hiking, I found out so many answers for myself that I had questions for. That's when I had this deeper calling inside me that there's something more out there. I just have to dig deeper and deeper. And then following that, I started to meditate more often. I cut out YouTube. I don't watch YouTube. And that's one thing that was a big distraction for me that I got rid of. I stopped watching YouTube, and then I started really realizing what I want. And you also have to read books, which I said. And with that, there's a book written by Mark Manson. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Please read that book. I highly recommend you to read that book. Because in that book, the author emphasizes how you have to outline your values. You have to spend some time for yourself and really understand what values you stand up for, what you don't stand up for. And you have to isolate yourself from these things, from distractions, from useless socializations outside, from useless like hanging out with useless people for no reason, for drinking, whatever. Like, don't do those things. Instead, be productive, do something for yourself, improve yourself. You have to go through self-improvement. Only then you will understand what your true purpose is. Otherwise, you will not. Each layer of purpose, you will discover that. Otherwise, you will not. And after you do complete a layer of purpose, you will be uncertain. Okay, now what do I do? And at that time, you just have to hang on there. You just have to, again, stay open-minded. You have to keep doing the right things. And don't, let's say you got a six-pack. Don't stop going to the gyms. Don't start eating junk food and lose that. Otherwise, the layer you peeled, it's going to unpeel and you have to peel it back again. That's going to become your purpose again if you let go of yourself. So you have to keep maintaining, like, for example, in this case, you have to maintain your body, keep that six-pack on you. You have to maintain that. You have to keep doing self-improvement, read, meditate, journal, do all of these things. And you will then slowly discover your new layer of purpose. That's how this works. And I still remember to this day, after I hiked, I felt I didn't feel that much clarity and happiness before. The relief that I had after that. That's when I decided, okay, YouTube really is fucking up my head. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I would just, like, literally on the weekends, I would work 5 days a week. Weekends would come, I would just sit at home, lie down on my bed, go to the grocery store, buy junk food, buy yogurt, buy cookies, chips, whatever, sugar, whatever. I would come home and I would just watch YouTube all day. That's literally that's what I did for every weekend. That's how bad my mental health was because of where I used to live. And then shortly after that, when I went on my first hike, I moved out of that place. I moved in to a different place. And it's much better here. I haven't had that terrible mental health since then. I've had very nice mental health. So you have to be open to opportunities here. I had the opportunity to move out. I took that. I moved in to where I live now. I live with one of my friends. He lives, well, his room is there. This is my room. And ever since then, my mental health has been so clear. I feel so much better. So you have to do all of these things. then afterwards there was a deep calling that I want to help people. I want to spread the word out there of self-improvement. I want to give my lessons out to the people. I had this idea of starting YouTube for ages. Since July last year, I was thinking like, I want to start something. I want to start doing something. Like, I want to make content. But every single time I had that idea, like that was one of my purposes, which I'm now doing. I had the idea, okay, I want to make content on self-improvement, but every single time I was just making excuses. I was thinking to myself like, no, I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be seen by other people. What if some of my friends see my videos? What if they find out I'm doing all these things? What if my family sees it? I was kind of scared of their opinion. Then I thought to myself, okay, nobody's going to save me. I'm gonna save myself. And that was also one of the best days of my life, like it or not. It was kind of a scary day. However, it was a big relief when I understood and really grasped that nobody will save me. Only I can save myself. My parents will not save me. My friends will not save me. My girlfriend will not save me. Only I can save myself. And when you realize that only you can save yourself, you literally take full responsibility of your life in every area. Fitness, relationships, your mental health, socializing, everything. Your work, your business, your job, whatever it is. You will take complete responsibility of that once you fully realize. And for that, you have to go through suffering. Go through pain. Get rejected. Start out a business, fail at it. Have shit mental health. Well, of course, it's not nice, but you have to go through these things to toughen up, to learn lessons, to give wisdom. You can't just be protected from the bad things since you were born and become a tough guy. That's not how it works. You're just a pussy in that way. If you were given everything, you wouldn't worked hard for anything. It's not worth it. Hard things that are hard to get. They're hard to get, which is what gives them value. No. Let's say you have a belly on you, you want to get rid of it, you want to have a six-pack. Six-pack's not easy to get, otherwise everyone would have it. No? Makes sense, right? So if you do the exercise, you eat properly, do the right exercises, training, whatever, and you do get a six-pack eventually, then you earned it because you've worked hard for it for months, for years, depending on your situation. You have worked so hard for so long on it. Which is why you should be proud of yourself. Which is why you shouldn't go hard on yourself. In your past, if you have done anything that was hard to achieve, anything hard for you to achieve, could be anything, littlest of things, be proud of yourself. That you've come a long way. Be proud of yourself that you're watching this video. Because that tells me that you really are serious about yourself and that you don't want to be like the average man out there. Too weak. Doesn't have good mental health, doesn't have good physical health. You don't want to be like that guy, right? And then this is good that you're taking this step. And don't just sit here, watch my video and think to yourself, I'm watching self-improvement content, I'm self-improving. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to take advice, not just from me, from anybody else that you look up to, that is doing well in some specific area that you want. Could be, for example, fitness, could be, for example, like your income, anything. Follow them. Implement their advice, their wisdom, and you will have what they have. You will, in the future, if you keep doing the right things, if you don't waste time, you will eventually have those things. Trust me on that. I hope you do. I will also give another example. In 2018, okay, well, throughout my entire high school life, I was like the fattest kid in class. I used to be like 50 kilos overweight or something. And of course, I was getting made fun of by my classmates, by other people in the school and everything. I knew that. I was very insecure because of that. And after I graduated in 2018, one day I was like, okay, I want to see what my weight is because I didn't know. I stepped on the scale and it showed me that I was 127 kilos. And I'm a pretty tall, I'm a very tall guy. I'm approximately 197 centimeters. So when I stepped foot on that scale, I saw 127. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of numbers there. That I got off, opened up my phone, checked what my BMI is, and it was obese. When I input all of my data, it was obese. Not overweight, obese. And I was not comfortable staying in that situation. Like I said, if you are lit on fire, you're not gonna stay there for long. You're gonna move. You're gonna want to get yourself out of that situation. So that was me. Since that day, I decided, okay, I'm not gonna eat junk food. I'm not gonna overeat, because I used to overeat a lot as well. So I literally made a plan for myself. I'm going to be training cardio, lose as much fat as I can, and eat proper nutrition, of course. And in the next 10 months or so, I lost almost 50 kilos, and I was completely different. And that was a layer of purpose that I discovered on that day when I figured out that I was obese. I didn't want to be known as an obese person. No, you wouldn't want to know that. You wouldn't want to be associated as an obese guy, no? So that was what I went through. That was a layer of my purpose. After I was like 81, maybe 79 kilos, that was my lowest, 79 kilos. After I got that, I was like, okay, this is done. This layer has been peeled. I didn't think of it that obviously back then. But at that time, I was thinking, okay, I'm done now. What am I gonna do next? So I maintained that weight. I didn't gain more. I didn't lose more. I just stayed around that range, like 79, 84. Like I just stayed within there for like some years until COVID came. COVID came, and of course we were all locked down. We all know that. We all got locked down, and I started eating more and more because what else was there to do? Just stay inside. Then again, I started eating more. I started gaining some weight. Not a lot, but some weight. And because I lost maintenance, the layer that I just peeled back, that became like this, and it became unpeeled. So that became a purpose for me again, to lose back, to get that weight back, lose that all. So then I started going to the gym. I did eventually lose it up, and I'm just maintaining it. Like, I'm not getting it back to that level. I got more muscle. Okay, my weight increased because of more muscle. However, I'm just maintaining my physique and everything, getting it better and better. So I'm still keeping track of that. So just apply these things to whatever situation you're in, and just improve yourself, and you'll know what to do. This is how you find your purpose. In my next week's video, I'm gonna be talking about, well, you'll see what I'm gonna talk about. I'm not gonna spoil that for you. And if you've stuck around for this long, congratulations, you have better attention span. I'm gonna say it again, you have very good attention span. If you stuck to this till this moment, I'm proud of you. Take care and see you then. Bye-bye.